bring the heat. Bring the heat.
What is up, everybody? Ando, we are live. I'm so excited right now. Me and you are here. The future.
Hey, don't get too friendly. I know you're a backstabber.
No, Ando, I'm a Milan fan because I actually predicted it. You
Oh,
know why
yeah.
I'm a Milan fan? Because you know the bet that we
You didn't
done
predict
before?
it. You didn't predict it.
No,
regardless, you didn't predict
why
it.
don't I
though.
have face
You didn't predict it.
Regardless,
Yeah.
we wanted Milan to win. Our bet was that, and Peter and Marco are on the other side right now.
Easy. I got it. It's okay.
And Peter and Marco on the other side, their face look a little bit different. Anto, should we show how they look right
One
now?
second, not yet.
Why not?
Does it look better or worse?
Yeah, it's
I think it
alright.
looks better. I think it looks better.
You guys look pretty good. You should keep it.
I agree, Anto.
Switch the camera.
We should
please.
switch it?
Every morning, Peter and I will wake up and do this.
Oh,
Here's-
hell no.
Okay, 3,
Show them up.
2, 1. Smile, guys. There they are.
Guys, everybody better like and subscribe right now.
Look in the camera. Marco, show them your bicep. Pete, show them your noggin. You guys are looking fresh right now.
You're looking
I
big,
like
turn a little
it.
bit that way, a little bit. There you go, a little bit more. There you go. There you go.
You guys look good, man. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts to feel right now. I don't like being on the losing side. I also realized that Peter and I were both wearing the same shirt, and it's also black and red. So we are all black and redded out right now.
You know what? Stay like that. Let's keep it that way.
I agree. It looks good on them. I like it a lot.
Guys, my voice is a little hoarse because I was screaming up. I mean, screaming. I
A little
was,
cavallo, right?
yeah, I was screaming at Peter yesterday. And, I lost it a little bit.
You lost it a little bit.
I need a little shot of
Well, it's
something
the
to get
most
it back.
It's the
Ah,
most
okay.
excitement Milan fans have had in a very long time.
Oh,
So.
wow. Wow.
Well, so as part of what we had said, there was a surprise. We've been saying that there's a surprise that was coming to the studio. The people on the live stream and whoever's following us on Instagram already saw the surprise. But for the podcast guys that are watching right now live and everyone who's watching afterwards, we have set up a Calcio Cafe inside the IFTV studio.
right.
And this is how it's going to work. Every time we come here to do a podcast, usually you guys used to always complain about our coffee. You're always saying Peter was like, your coffee sucks.
It's true.
We're using the pods that really were bad. So we said, let's make some content out of this. And every time, whenever the podcast starts, the loser of the week will have to go into our new Calcio Cafe with some high quality machines right now. These are top class stuff, and make an espresso. So this week, Peter, you were the only loser among them. So we'll do,
What about you?
Well, I didn't lose. Crotone,
that's a loss.
Crotone was, I know, but I'm just
Pretty
saying
much a
technically
loss,
it's a
right?
tie.
Yeah.
So we'll do it. If Milan loses, you would do it. If Inter loses, you would do it. If Juve loses, I will do it. What do we have to get? If
He's gonna do
I
it
never
every day.
lose.
Oh,
I never
if we
lose.
don't lose, he has to do it.
Yeah.
If we don't lose, he has
He's
to do
gonna
it.
have to do it.
What
If
I
we
have to
don't
do?
lose,
What
you
I
have to make us
do?
the coffee in the beginning of the podcast.
I feel like I do that regardless, but whatever, yeah.
So here's how it's gonna work. Peter is gonna go over to the Calcio Cafe.
Yes.
We've got an angle. Antonio, Michael, and I will continue with our conversation. The beginning, we'll give the Milan perspective.
Should we show them the camera right
yeah,
now?
show
real quick?
show the camera as Peter walks into the Calcio Cafe. There it is.
There it is.
You're looking good,
Che
Peter.
grande.
Leave it there for a minute. You think he knows what he's doing?
He's a natural. Peter is a
I don't know.
natural.
I feel like he has
A natural.
no idea.
He's gonna spit inside your coffee. That's why we got the camera over
Yo,
there.
Pete, don't spike my coffee. Okay, Pete?
It's a nice little setup. I think the coffee's better than last time, right, Anto?
I got you. Yeah,
Much better.
Much better.
Much better. Yeah, fair enough. So we'll keep an eye on Peter over there. He's got to make 4 espressos for all of us.
Oh boy.
So it's gonna take
Make
a
it a
little while.
doppio, P. We'll keep you there an extra a little longer.
I like when Antonio gets in there a little bit. Show him a little bit too. So we'll get it going. But Antonio, anyway, you're obviously very happy. Can you tell all the people to like and subscribe for this Milan win?
Guys, like the podcast and subscribe it right now.
Like the video right now.
Like the video right now and subscribe to the video.
Subscribe to the video. We already have some donations coming in.
Okay.
Cucicia, remember him?
Kutica.
He said, Forza Milan. Anto, we are the real Milan. Forza. And then, wow, Tancredi Caldagirone. Wow, big donation. Thank you very much. He said, please, can I get a shout out from Antonio saying, Tancredi, we made it. Forza Milan.
Tancredi, we made it. Forza Milan. And you are invited to the podcast, okay?
We did it, Tancredi, right, Anto?
Yeah.
We.
Hey, Caltagirone.
Hey, here we go.
Caltagirone is in Sicily, right?
Grazie,
For the big
Pietro.
winners over here.
Grazie, Pietro.
Thank
This
you.
is beau-
Oh.
This looks beautiful.
This
Anto, drink it first in case he poisons it.
I
or
don't
something.
know.
How's it like?
It looks delicious. Ooh. It smells like victory, right,
Pete,
Anto?
Pete, it looks like a little watery.
That's not water, Anto.
So, Anto. So you lost your voice,
A little bit,
obviously.
yeah.
What happened over there?
Yeah, explain that.
Well, I was shouting. I was shouting. I was happy to point to Peter that we're never gonna die, And for the derby, we still back alive. You know what I mean? Not totally dead, but we survived the first derby.
Hanging in there, right?
Hanging in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. So congratulations, first of all, on winning the derby. Massive match, which has so much to be said about. We will remind you also that today we're going to talk a lot, mostly focused on Milan's game, Milan and Inter, because there's a lot of talking points, and I know we're going to talk a lot about this. We could not, my dad could not make it today. He's going to come tomorrow, and Ludovico could not make it today. He's going to come tomorrow, so we'll break it up. So tomorrow we have a double stream for everyone that is watching right now. Let's get into this Milan game. Antonio, from your perspective, how did you feel about Milan's win against Inter? Thank you very much, Peter.
The game was fluid for AC Milan in the first half. And, everything went the right way. Though I wanted to see Tonali playing a little bit more. So he's just getting to play a little scrap of the game. So I think he's looking the way, the formation is moving up and down. And I think he's going to be plugged in, I think, on the next cup game. And then we'll see whether he's capable to implement the formation that Pioli is putting on the plate. So let's see what happens with this Tonali. Tonali is something that we put a lot of effort to bring him into AC Milan. Actually, not that much, because he's the one that wanted to come to AC Milan.
Okay. Yeah, we could say that. Yeah, we're in for peace.
Well,
So
the good thing, I think it's actually a good thing that it shows how deep Milan's team has become. With Kessie and Bennacer become very great players for you. You're also top of the table, the Serie A table, the only team still with a 100% win record. Also, the only team in Europe, along with Aston Villa, to have a 100% win record. It's all the remembrance to continue what happened last year. Who do you think in this match, and I think it's kind of obvious, what do you think was the key in winning in this match, in the derby?
Well, the midfield was a big key. Of course, Bennacer and Kessie, they controlled all the midfield. Çalhanoğlu did a good job right on top of there, and Ibrahimovic was the killer, was the finisher. So, the speed that AC Milan has up top, it's just very difficult to... and you know what? Theo Hernandez didn't have a good game.
Thank you, Peter.
Cheers, guys.
Theo didn't have a good game, because if Theo Hernandez had a good game yesterday, it would have been a lot more trouble for Inter. But nevertheless, hey, if it would have been a tie, it would be a decent. It would have been a good result for us. We were shooting for a tie, but we won the game. Okay.
How's the coffee?
I didn't try yet.
We cheers.
Tastes a little funny, Pete.
You didn't do anything to ours, right? You didn't do anything to ours? No. All right, good. Imagine they made us swallow.
I feel like I'm going to pass out right now.
He said he wanted decaf, so fatto più lungo.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little milk in.
We need more than milk on here, too.
Do we have still a shot of Amaro?
We will. We'll get to it. From Milan's perspective, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he played 95 minutes. And, I love that the narrative last year of, they're just bringing Zlatan in for he's a waste. He's a waste on the salary. They're paying him too much money. He's from MLS. He's washed up, this and that. And I think that what he's brought is more so not just what's on the pitch, but how he motivates the guys around him. And I'm so amazed by the way they played 95 minutes and constantly pushing his players forward. I think that Milan came out in this match with the perfect approach. And I have to compliment Pioli and all of the guys that were on the field. They came to this match to win. They did not say, oh, Inter's, considered the better team. They have this and that. No, it's a derby. We want to go out there and win. They pressured. They played the right kind of football. And some players that we needed to step up, stepped up. And Kyer, I would put him, that he played a fantastic match in defense for Milan. And without that, even though...
I would say Leao and from the outsider. I mean, Leao, I think, did an excellent job on the left side. Calabria was a little bit shaky, but he managed to survive the defensive
he was
job.
making some mistakes.
And Kessie was so important inside the midfield. Mm-hmm. Really good. Peter, how do you feel about the match?
Oh, disappointed. Definitely on the Inter's perspective. This is a game where derby, no matter what, the fans always want this game won. Unfortunately, we had 6 players out due to COVID, and Conte, because of his stubbornness, I guess, he keeps his formation with the 3-man back. I'm not too surprised with it, because that's what we've been seeing for the longest time, where Conte doesn't like to change much. Mm-hmm. But when you don't have the players at your disposal, right? Why force the idea? That being said, Inter got caught off too many times to say, okay, this is a team that's supposed to
far up, right?
They're supposed to win the Scudetto. Their defensive line, even though it's not going to be their starting defensive line, those are the subs. Those are the guys that have to come in and make a difference if one of Skriniar or Bastoni are out. And both D'Ambrosio and Kolarov had a horrible game. Kolarov, with his experience, should know not to go into a tackle the way he did in the penalty box when you have Ibrahimovic facing the other way, and then not being able to track Ibrahimovic when the cross comes in. That being said, Inter did have some chances. I was able to look at the highlights after their game, right? Lukaku missed. Hakimi missed. There were some chances where Inter were able to play and move the ball. And maybe if one of those goes in, the whole game can change. You never know.
Well, even AC Milan had a couple of chances.
No. Milan had chances too. Like I said, I think it was a very even game. I think Milan played this game to perfection. Inter is the better team. Let's face it, for the players that they have.
I'll take that.
Yeah, no, for the players that they have, and also
the money that you spend,
but also this year
and
is
the coach that you have.
Yeah,
too.
but this year is supposed to be the year that Inter wins the Scudetto, right? This is the year this is the second year for Conte.
Okay.
So the team should be better prepared, let's say, than Pioli's Milan. But like I said, Milan played this game to perfection. It was a suffered win. It wasn't a win that you say, okay, Milan dominated the game. No. Inter at times
they
really
gave it to
last
Milan
second too,
half.
especially that Lukaku chance.
But even Lukaku, Kjaer and Romagnoli played great games, but it was more of a bend don't break. So Lukaku had Romagnoli turned, had Kjaer turned, he was gone. They just weren't able to finish those games. And I said before the podcast, if you remember, like one of those things that you said, what does Inter need to do to win this game? I said we have to make sure that we finalize our chances. Because not just this game, also Lazio, we're missing too many games, and we're missing that cattiveria, right? In Italian and English, like that, just
fierceness.
Yeah, just in front of goal, you got to finish that, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no if, buts, or whens or excuses. One thing I want to note: Perisic as a left winger, as that
wing back.
Yeah, wing back. I'm a little scared.
He did an okay job.
Yeah, but
he's not a wing back.
He's not the guy. I think.
Or would you put just Ashley Young over there?
I would put Ashley Young, obviously,
Well, yeah,
if he's healthy. But I think Inter should have made a move on the left wing back.
But I think to criticize Conte a little bit, he keeps bringing Eriksen when it's the game. It's already
late, right?
out of the whack, or when it's not necessary anymore.
What is wrong with this guy, with this Eriksen?
When he came in, wrong with Eriksen. Something is wrong with Conte.
What's this situation? He came in and he didn't do anything though.
Well,
it's weird to
Marco,
just throw him in like that.
He's been there for a while now.
Marco, how do you expect when the pressure is on you to show what you needed to do, and you've been brought in, been down 2-1? What do you expect him to do? AC Milan is expecting him to come in. They already made an adjustment. So what they did, they took Leao out and they put the Diaz or whatever. They put him. No, what's his name? The other guy over there.
They put Krunic.
So they put Krunic. In other words, they reinforced the midfield, and they took that space away from Eriksen. Eriksen was trying to,
Someone said Peter looks like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Can you look into the camera real quick for the people that are joining? For the people that are joining that are confused right now, I saw some people saying what happened. Peter and I both lost the bet this week, so we've got AC Milan colors
you guys
on
look
our
beautiful,
faces.
let me tell you.
So the bottom line is that again,
That's funny.
Again, with all the players that Inter has, Conte is not there to make them perform at their best. In other words, you have an 8-cylinder car that is running a 4. In other words, half of the car is not even carbureting.
So Eriksen, we look at it, and our boy Ryan's here. He even said, right, Eriksen's not the type of player that comes in
as a super sub.
He needs to carburate.
He needs to warm up a little bit. But besides that, if you're a top player, doesn't matter when it is. When they call your number, you got to get into that game and you have to perform. And yesterday, it was another disappointing performance on Eriksen with the Inter jersey on. With Denmark's jersey as the captain of Denmark, he scored 3 goals in 3 games. Of course, a lot has to do with confidence and your coach relationship with the player and the style of play. But at the same time, you have to be what that coach wants. So if you have to be an aggressor, you have to be an aggressor. You have to try to make something happen.
Let me throw this at you then. Let's say you are Eriksen, right? And then you're losing 2-1. Conte tells you 15 minutes, 10 minutes before the end of the game, get up and warm up. So what are you supposed to do? I said, oh shit. Now this guy here, what he's going to do is going to put all the pressure on me. You see, I put you in. What did you do? So the guy coming in, it's already coming under pressure.
Well, listen, he's going to have pressure no matter what.
Let me finish. Number 2. Once you're already coming in under that kind of a pressure to produce high quality, action for Inter, then it becomes double the amount of pressure. You're making 1 or 2 mistakes, everybody focuses on you.
Hey, listen.
And then that's it. You have to give the guy at least half a game. Just put him in at the beginning of the second half.
Listen, the first game he started him with Fiorentina. He was there. He started him.
I don't know. I just the contest formula is not. I'm not buying into it. He's creating a problem because he's got so many great players sitting on the bench and he's not managing the player properly. That's the bottom line. Eriksen is the perfect example.
Oh, listen, I disagree. I think still needs. So as far as management of players, time will tell. Eriksen up until now has been a bust for Inter, and whether it be partly Conte's fault, the team's fault, or Eriksen's fault, I don't necessarily pinpoint just one person. There's a split in who has the responsibility for Eriksen's failure. But at the same time, this is a player that can technically and both tactically can change Inter's luck. He can, on a set piece, creating something for Lukaku and Lautaro, he can do a lot. So Conte really has to work on getting him into the game. I agree with you. I'm a fan of Eriksen. I've seen what he did with Tottenham. And when you have someone like that, you got to put him in.
I just want to say there's a lot of comments, especially like on Twitter and stuff. People, the Interisti were saying about how their bench wasn't necessarily there. They had like 7 or 8 players out. Would you say that's a good enough excuse to say that's why they lost, or you think that's
Before you answer that, I want to remind everybody to like the stream. We're almost at 200 likes. I want to get to 200 likes real quick. I'll go get if you wanna see me get the Amaro del Capo. We'll have a nice little drink right now.
Yeah.
Make sure you like the sleeves, guys. I need an Amaro right now.
Let's get to 200 likes and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, it helps us out big time. Our channel is starting to really do well right now. Our live stream, thank you to everybody who tuned in. 1.5 thousand were watching live and over 90,000 afterwards. So we really appreciate everybody. And that helps a lot if you like the stream and you subscribe, because it tells YouTube to watch the content. So I'll go get that, but let's hit 200 likes. Sorry, Peter, continue with that.
So, P, is that a valid excuse?
Listen, it's definitely a valid excuse.
Wow. Okay.
We saw Inter's back line. It was pathetic. And especially with Conte's whole system with the 3-man back, you have to have players that can fit into that formation.
Okay.
And I feel Kolarov still hasn't learned Conte's way of defending in that 3-man back, even though he's done it with Roma, with Fonseca.
Very few times, though.
But towards the end of the season, he was playing as that third center back. So, I'm not trying to make an excuse out of it.
Yeah.
But when you don't have the players at your disposal, it does make a difference. That was one of Inter's advantages in this season, being able to have this bench that you can put on Nainggolan, Sensi, Ashley Young, Peris, all these guys in the mix. It makes a difference, especially when you have 5 subs. How many subs did he make yesterday's game?
I think was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think he made a limited amount. So for sure, if he had all players at his disposal, he's making 5 subs.
Yeah.
So that changes the game, but. Nonetheless, we can't look at the episodes in the game. There were certain episodes. Kjaer on a yellow card fouls Lautaro. The ref doesn't even call a foul. Kesse, studs up into Hakimi on a second. Doesn't call the ref doesn't call a foul and doesn't get a second yellow. So there's different things, but you cannot look at the episodes. Inter have to play better. They have to finish the chances that they have.
We do have a donation from David from La Fame. And guys, we're 50 away from 200, so let's hit that real quick. And we're going to do a cheers right now. We can. But let's hit that 50. Well, as I read this, he was saying about what you just said. He said, speak about the refereeing during the derby and how Inter weren't shown a card until the 65th minute. Criminal how some challenges weren't carded.
La Fame, that means hungry, right? Fame?
Yeah, La Fame, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
He
Forza
said
that
Milan.
200.
Yeah. We got 200?
No,
Beautiful.
I said let's hit that 200.
Oh, let's get a 200.
No, the referee let a lot go. He
Which
let
I
a
actually
lot
enjoy.
go.
Yeah, people are mad about
But the
that.
thing is, you could also lose control of the game. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. There were some missed calls, but I think it was pretty fair for both sides. I mean, he called a penalty for Lukaku and eventually took it away with VAR. The ruling, Gazzetta this morning said that it was the right decision.
Oh, it was?
Disallowed the goal.
So
The
what was
reason
it?
why
Why?
is because Kjaer did not play the ball. It was deflected off of him.
Oh,
So even
gotcha.
though the rule is now, if Milan player touches the ball or
Oh,
more,
it doesn't put
it
back
wouldn't
in
be
play the other
back in
player.
play.
Oh.
So if Kjaer, let's say, miskicked the ball,
yeah, then it's a
then
problem.
then it's not. But because it
But
was
this is a
deflected,
new rule, Pete. New rule.
well, this is the same rule I think
That's
from
what I
last
thought.
year. This is the same rule from last year. But because it was deflected, it's offside.
He put him offside. I mean, he found himself to be offside. Okay.
I want to ask a question right now because obviously Kolarov is not a center back. We're just gonna have to say it. We're 4 games in. Kolarov cannot play as a center back. He looks completely out of place
Lost.
when he's playing. Even Conte after the match said he is a left back. He's not a center back. Does this come back to Conte? Because now I'm starting to see a lot of the Inter fans online saying, hey, you are too tactically stubborn and not adapting to the team that you want. Conte was very famous at Juventus for saying he came into Juventus with a 4-2-4 formation. He was set on it. I watched in training, in preseason, Conte 4-2-4. That's it. Once he came to Juventus, he said, a great coach is like a great tailor. He adapts his suit to the materials that he has at his disposal, which, reading through the lines, was Bonucci, Barzai, Chiellini were 3 great center backs, so he played a 3-5-2. You do not have 3 great center backs anymore, Conte. You need to change his formation. For me, I don't think that it's as adapted for the team. In a game like now, where you're forcing, it's like you're putting, you know those old games when you're a kid, and it's like, oh, put the circle inside the square.
Round shape
He's like
and
shoving that,
nothing.
you know, it's not the way that it should go, in my opinion. And I want to know Peter, as an Inter fan, because again, I'm starting to see the Inter fans online saying he's too tactically stubborn in that sense.
I said it that this game you did not have the 3 center backs to
Yeah,
play
you
the
should have gone with
3-5-2.
4, Pete.
You should have went with 4. You could have put Kolarov as your left back, which he's been doing for his whole career.
And Ashley Young on the left. No,
Well,
actually
Hakim,
Young
you
on the
put
left.
Hakimi on the right. You would put Hakimi on the right, Kolarov on the left, and you put De Vrij, and maybe you even put Ranocchio. You put D'Ambrosio, whoever it is. At least there's more spacing, the right spacing for the defenders to be able to manage. But that being said, Conte's stubbornness has led to Inter. How can I want to phrase it the right way. So Inter, this market, he bought players purposely for this 3-5-2 formation. So if you change now to a 4-man back,
You go against what you
Hakimi is not really that Italian style right back.
But he was
right? He's gonna
fantastic,
go
though.
up. He played
He was
amazing.
fantastic.
He played amazing. But
he's a
he's
wing-
a
so
he's
good.
but
wing
he's a
back.
little bit more up.
He's a wing back, yeah.
And you don't have. He has to track back, but you have that third defender that can help. That can help him. Okay, so there's all those things that you have to look into. But at the same time, you have to be flexible. We saw today's game, Roma. Fonseca played with a 4-man back, where he's been playing 3-5-2 or whatever it is, 3-4-1-2. So Conte needs to be more flexible. Realize that he has top players. Whatever formation he puts, he's gonna do good. But I want to say that it's not just Inter, because Inter, so in 4 games, have let up 8 goals. That is way too many goals to give up. That is not a Scudetto winning team that's given up 8 goals in 4 games.
Pete, let me just add to you.
I just wanted to put this. This was the point in that all of Serie A, if you see these games, they are high scoring, and I think a lot has to do with not having that 1 month preparation, because especially when you're dealing with tactics and the Italian way to work over and over again, you didn't have those games to really practice.
I have a stat to back that up.
Yes.
We've had 41 goals in 9 games, and tomorrow we still have 1 more match. That's an average of 4.5 goals a game in Serie A, which is extremely high for a league that is usually known as defensive. Fonseca today said he loves that it's becoming more attacking, but definitely a great point. I think we saw this weekend was the weekend that nobody expected this. If we look at some of our predictions, nobody really expected a lot of these games to go the way that they did. And I will add it up, all of our predictions that we have going on. The last thing that I wanted to say about Milan and this match as we move on, and like I said, today will be more focused on Inter and Milan because we've got the bet and all that kind of stuff, is how far can this AC Milan go? They're 4 games in. Some said earlier, they were only playing Crotone, they were only playing small teams. We see Crotone tied to Juventus. Inter is considered one of the favorites for the Scudetto. They beat one of those guys. This Milan, how far can they go? They're obviously, in my opinion, have proved in the beginning, again, it's only 4 games, but to me, they're proving that they are going to be fighting for that 4th Champions League spot, which was a question mark. But where do you guys see it? Where can this Milan go from this season?
The Milan's proven me wrong dramatically because I had them outside the top 4, and if they continue what they're doing, these guys, I think they will definitely have a top 4 finish. Could they compete for the Scudetto? Realistically, I don't think so, just because they don't have enough depth. But overall, how it's looking, Lazio's not playing the best, and I feel like maybe they can squeeze for that Champions League spot. And they're going to have a better season than we think. Pioli's right now, he's proving a lot of the haters, including me, wrong. So it's looking good. They're riding the wave.
You're a hater?
100%. Not a hater, but I didn't think he'd be
You said
doing
a hater.
I
You said you're a
I didn't
hater.
mean it like that. I was being harsh on myself.
He admitted it.
I was being
Clip
harsh on
it.
myself. But they're riding the wave right now, 100% record. And, it could be any team. If you're riding the wave, everything's going your way. Reach for the stars. They could do. They can go as far as they want. I think if they keep this up, top 4 for sure. I'd change my prediction. And before I continue, everyone's roasting us in the comments. It's pronounced. They said it's not pronounced Kier. They're saying it's Kier.
Bro, but the
Is
thing
that
is,
how you pronounce it, guys?
Kier.
Kier. That's how they're saying. I'm not sure.
bro,
Am I
but
saying
the
it
thing
right,
is,
guys?
the thing is,
Guys,
I'm
no.
seeing 5 different people say 5 different ways of saying it.
I know.
They're
We'll
fighting.
see.
I saw somebody fighting in the comments. No, it's not Key. It's Kai.
I just want to acknowledge that we're trying to improve
I'm
how
gonna
to
look
pronounce
for the
his
Danish
name.
pronunciation.
Listen,
I'm just saying it just to say that
Let
it's,
me
we're not
pick
sure.
up on
Guys,
what-
hit that 200 likes. We're very close. We're only
Let's-
15 away.
Let me pick up on what Peter
Please
to
pick
finish
up.
up what he was
Finish up.
saying, Peter.
Yes, sir.
I agree with him. I think Conte is not reading the game the proper way, and AC Milan found themselves with a 4-on-3, 3-on-3, 3-on-2 on attacking Inter, and Inter got caught up 2-3 times or 4 times. Off guards, they were too far up. So with the speed that we have down on the wings, with the Tio and what's his name? over
Calabria.
there? Leao.
Oh.
Calabria, not that much. Calabria. So what's it?
Simon Kjær.
Care. Simon Care.
Care.
This is a female.
Care.
Simon Kjær.
Care.
Anyway, so
Kier. I'm saying Kier. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Kier.
Conte screwed it up for Inter because
Okay.
Inter, they got the player regardless of the COVID or not COVID. Conte's formation and Conte intelligence on reading the game, on putting the right player on the right time, it's very clear.
But besides those 2 goals,
Yeah.
we'll
Inter
move
had
on
some
after
chances. Milan had some chances, but Inter had chances. I mean,
But Peter, you
had a
play
chance
with
in
no
front of the
defense.
goal.
We have no defense, period. You
doesn't
guys
matter.
playing with a couple other missing defender. But we have 0 defense. No, I'm good, Marco.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have 0
You need it, bro.
defense.
You
We do
deserve it.
not have a
Please.
defense, Pete. We do not have a defense. We Calabria.
Yeah, but so
over
then
there.
how are you going to win the Scudetto? How are you going to compete
Well,
for the Champions League? You gotta be able to have the defense.
they are into the market to get a couple tough defenders.
In January, maybe they'll
Yeah,
reinforce.
listen, Milan has not necessarily
Cheers.
proven us wrong. Cheers. So,
This is courtesy of Ludo. Ludo is the best, I'll tell you. Ludo is making my voice
gonna have
coming back little by little.
I
need
swear to
some
God,
money.
the last
he
podcast,
just asked you if you wanted.
the last podcast, Ludovico started without a voice.
Yeah.
He started drinking this. His voice came back by the end of the podcast.
That's a Napoli
I swear.
secret. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
Naples
true.
secret.
The
And
thing,
that-
I could not believe it.
And to pick up on this, now we're going to talk about Napoli winning
We will.
4-1.
Sorry, one last thing about this match, and we'll move on. Lautaro. I've often been a little bit critical of Lautaro, and I had said it on the live stream, and I think LaBelle and I were saying this. I feel like Lautaro's one of those guys where when he plays good, he plays really good. But when he doesn't play good, he plays really bad. And he doesn't
disappears.
show up.
He
And he
disappears.
disappears
Yeah.
for Inter. There's not really that in-between where you're like, all right, he still had a good match. He was involved. It's like, he
Hot
was
or cold,
invisible.
hot or cold,
Where
right?
was he?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Well, first half, I think he was more lively. He had some chance, but he goes down way too easy. How many times the referee shaked his head or waved his finger saying, get up, play on? So he got discouraged. Or the second half, he was inexistent. I mean, Lukaku, he scored the goal, but even you can tell like he was fighting. Maybe he
trying.
could have been more clinical in front of
Yeah.
goals, but you can see the guy had a hunger in him. I
Exactly.
mean, literally a couple. He did like identical things where he was able to turn the defender, Romagnoli or Kier, I forgot.
Yeah.
And he ran
Yeah.
and he sprinted 50 yards. You know.
He was trying to make things happen, basically. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're
just
saying.
unfortunately,
Fair enough.
he's not the most technical, gifted
No.
guy, but.
Let's move on. We'll talk about Crotone Juventus. 1-1 draw for Juventus in Crotone with 10 men. A really, really poor match, boring match. Overall, poor performance from Pirlo's men. They were down 1-0 with a penalty kick to Crotone, and they ended up coming back. Alvaro Morata played actually a good match. He was the only one from Juventus that I would say played great match. Federico Chiesa started his first match. He made his debut, gave a great assist, played a good match. He was playing good until he got sent off for Juventus. But this Juventus is just, honestly, what we've been saying, they are so disorganized. When you watch them, they do not look like Juventus. Juventus used to be organized. You know exactly which players where. You know, defensively, they stay sound. I never know which Juventus is going to be.
Yeah, they look
all
bad.
over the map. And they could have lost this match. The only thing that's, without very Ronaldo dependent in the past years, obviously Ronaldo was not there, McKennie was not there. And I think a lot of the teams, the bigger teams, the teams that have most national team players struggled the most, even all across Europe. We watched so many of the bigger clubs who had international players out, struggled, and they lost points. So I think that played into effect. Juventus was obviously very Dybala reliant. There was controversy on the offsides, which for me, it looked offsides. I know people are complaining about inches, but we've already talked about this. We don't think it should be, but it was offsides.
Black and
Technically, if you want to argue about the rule, that's different. But it was offsides for Morata. The red card for me, that's never a red card. It's barely a yellow card.
How did he get a red? I didn't watch the game. How did he get a red?
Yeah, I don't think that was a red card for sure.
There's no way.
it
Listen,
looks like
if
they
we
both
play
slid
football,
for-
that can't be a red
Yeah,
card.
that was
but
strange.
Either way, it doesn't matter. For Juventus, you need to be doing much better than this. I know Pirlo. This is what I predict Juventus is going to win, but it's not surprising to me that Juventus tied against Crotone. They have not looked good this season. Pirlo is going to have growing pains as a manager. You're going to see these things. A lot of younger players coming into the lineup, still figuring out how to deal with this entire situation. And he's been thrown into a situation that's very tough. This is a hard year for a coach to manage that's experienced. Coaches who have been in this industry for 10, 15 years are struggling to figure out how to deal with this with COVID and with everything. And now he's in his first year with a very hard squad and a lot of circumstances that he can't control. So it is difficult, but from Juventus, you need to be doing better. You need to see that mental strength and organization inside of the team, which I'm not seeing right now.
Marco, I had a question for you on this one. Yeah, they looked unorganized. It looks like they just relied on Ronaldo and stuff like that. But I had a question. I seen around too.
Ask me.
Pirlo, whatever. It's the beginning. It's still early. You can't criticize him too much. But can you, as a coach, can you be bringing on these? They play two Primavera players, Frabotta and Portanova, I think. Should you be bringing in these youngsters when your team's been shaky and stuff?
Yeah,
Because
but
that's
who
where you
else are
get
you gonna
criticism.
play? We don't have anybody else.
They had Cuadrado on the bench who got subbed in afterwards. Like,
But
would you?
all these guys that are traveling and not okay. I know people, there was the Dybala case, but Dybala was sick. And I know then Dybala, there was a whole thing about Dybala was complaining to Paratici, reports saying Dybala complained to Paratici that he didn't play.
I heard that.
Why he traveled and he didn't get to go. He said they brought him to Crotone for no reason because he ended up staying on the bench. So it's not an easy situation. I wouldn't put it against him for this.
Okay.
I think the thing is,
when you have Cuadrado on the bench is what I'm
I
saying.
have my expectations where they are. I know that this stuff is going to happen. I know a lot of people, they think, Pirlo, that's it. Zidane, perfect situation. You've got all the players that you want. But it's not the reality of the situation. So that's why, to me, again, I expected Juventus to win. But to see them tied against them, based off the performance that they had, I'm not surprised.
Again, you know what? It's a good point. I mean, all the people, the teams that they had international player playing for their country, for those friendly. I mean, friendly for
That
this
was
national
stupid.
duty.
Yeah, so they struggle because first of all, jet lag is a big difference. You don't get over jet lag even if you have a 3-bedroom apartment on your plane, you don't get the
Press play. The middle space bar. That's the Chiesa red card. Play. You really? What do you think? I mean, it's never a red card.
Yeah, but
It's never a red card. He's
A
challenging for the
a
ball.
straight red is
He's
a-
challenging for the
might
ball.
be a little too much.
If you get rid of this, we have to get rid of any kind of
Yeah, but Marcus,
50-50 balls in
his
football.
His foot, he didn't take his foot out. You know,
Yeah, but why does he have to take his foot? Why does he have to take his foot out?
Maybe a yellow.
A yellow
second-
would have been
Never.
A straight
A
red
yellow.
is too much.
Yellow
I
would
To me, it's
think.
not even
I think
yellow.
Vecino got that same red card when he versus Pjanic.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
3 years ago.
Listen, I'm not comparing things. I'm just saying, for me, in football, that's not a red card. Let's change the name because it's not football if that's a red.
It's a
But it
yellow.
doesn't matter either way.
A yellow. would
Either
be-
way, there's no
That's not
excuse.
a
It's
shoes.
fine.
Yeah,
Right now.
for sure.
To continue onto it, I don't know what more there is to say. I know there's Pirlo saying people saying Pirlo out. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
too
I think
soon.
that's
Too soon.
that's just fans that are
Easy,
just getting in over their head.
easy.
If you are expecting something more than this, then it's your expectations that need to be matched. This is a transitional year for Juventus. Like it or not, it is a transitional year for Juventus.
Peter, what do you think about this whole
First
thing?
off, Juventus cannot tie against Crotone. 1-1.
First point of the
You
season, by
cannot.
the way, for Crotone.
You cannot. That being said, you don't have two of your best players playing, Ronaldo, Dybala. You don't have anybody that can change the game at a moment's notice. I'm sorry. Morata's not that player. Chiesa's not that player. So without a Ronaldo, Dybala, no one can step up to that plate when your team is playing bad to score. That being said, Juventus, it's only their third game. They didn't get a chance to play versus Napoli. So I think Pirlo needs time. And because, this week especially, you were missing all your international players. You didn't have any time to really practice or do any tactical arrangements and stuff. So the more games that Juventus plays, I think they'll start buying into Pirlo's system. If he has a system, we still have to find out. But Juventus right now is a question mark.
I wouldn't go that far. No.
I think Juventus is a question mark.
They are. No,
Unless
you're
they
right.
have Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala playing.
They look like a completely different team without
they
them.
will. Believe
Bono-
me.
It's the
Bonucci-
same thing with
Bono-
Ibrahimovic and Milan. Ibrahimovic, Milan without
Yeah, that's
Ibrahimovic
true.
is not scary anymore.
But Bonucci is a disaster. Bernardeschi is just living up to what we've all known for 2 years. It's only the people that are surprised by that. Again, you've just not been reading the signs of had your eyes closed and been blinded by Bernardeschi being Italian for a lot of them. But we'll move on because again, now the question mark. The thing that I read out of these 3 games that we're talking about. First one, Inter, who's supposed to be Scudetto, right? Juventus, who's supposed to be Scudetto, and now Atalanta, who's kind of a question mark. They got thrashed by Napoli, and I don't want to go too deep into this game.
One game.
It was one
I don't want to
game.
go. I don't want to go too deep into this game because I know tomorrow is going to be a heavy focus on that with Ludovico. But I want to talk about the idea of this game for them, and we'll let them comment more on it. But wow, 4-1 from Napoli.
Hey, listen, they deserve the win 4-1. And I got to tell you something. I was a little disappointed with Atalanta goalkeeper because it's not Golini, but
Sportiello.
yeah, but again, Napoli is got a system right now with Gattuso with a 4-3-3 that is playing, and with his Hakimi, what's his name?
Oshiman?
Oshiman.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
The guy's
he's
great.
incredible.
The guy
He's everywhere.
It's a force of nature, una forza della natura. It's impossible. It's like a hurricane.
Yeah.
The
You
guy,
can't stop him, right?
You can stop.
Yeah, yeah.
You
He
can
drags
stop
so many
him.
defenders
He's
when
a
he's
very
running.
intelligent striker.
He draws a lot of the defenders on. He's a smart guy. When he sees that he's over cover, he's very good on assist his teammates.
Yep.
And he's got a good shot, a beautiful shot too. He's deadly. So I
He's
would
so
say,
good. He's
I
so
would
good.
say to factor Napoli into the winning of the championship this year.
Really?
It's
That's what I was going to bring up.
I would say just not Inter or Juventus. It's going to be Napoli, Inter, and Juventus.
Okay, well, that's actually one comment that Peter came in saying when he came for the Derby, and it was a little bit shocking to me. I still don't believe it, but I would love to hear your opinion on this. Also, we've got 600 people watching right now. We could get to 300 likes real quick. I think we could hit that
sure.
right away as we continue to talk about the matches. But Peter, talk about Napoli and your thoughts of them possibly being able to challenge for a Scudetto.
Well, I mean, Napoli, like we said, thrashed Atalanta. Atalanta doesn't get hit like this very often. They've had some maybe bad games in the past, but Napoli scored 3 goals in 30 minutes. And they played outstanding, okay? I think with some additions that Napoli made, you're looking at Osimhen, you're looking at Bakayoko, you're looking at
I was about to
guys
say that.
off the bench.
Lozano's a new signing.
I always believed in
But
Lozano. Always.
You got, even Petagna off the bench, who is a Serie A, striker. With Spal, and he's done well. Also with Atalanta before. So you have these little pieces.
And we look at no Insigne, Pete. No
Insigne. But
Politano,
you have guys that have been on this team for a while also, with Mertens, with Insigne. Koulibaly looks like a whole nother player this year. Maybe the Manolas partnership can really stem forward. I think Napoli's one weak spot is definitely the left back position, and they need to be able to maybe make an acquisition in January. But that being said, you're looking at but look at the flexibility in Napoli's formation. It's very similar to a 4-2-3, but yesterday they played a 4-2-3-1. Okay, and with Bakayoko in that mix, he can cover a lot of space, do the dirty work, and like I said, Bakayoko's signing adds to the muscle in Napoli's midfield that looked a little weak, right? Because you take out Alan, you have your style players, Zielinski, Fabian Ruiz. Bakayoko now is a whole nother animal in there. And I think Gattuso passed his test last year with Napoli. He was able to fix a very, very dangerous but like even the situation.
Yeah.
The locker room was literally holding by the pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point.
And he was able to sew it all up and put it all together. But not even that. This year you see a Napoli team fresh and ready to go. So I think Gattuso also added. He's not like I said, he's not a tactical mastermind, but he'll get the most out of his players. And if the players love playing for him, watch out for Napoli.
Lazio is another big team that as Michael was reading off the score during the derby, I was in shock that Sampdoria beat Lazio 3-0. And I watch this match and I see the goals that Lazio score. Sampdoria score. This is not the same Lazio. I mean, some errors, schoolboy errors that last year you would not see because they all had that vision in their mind. So what is happening to Lazio this year?
They looked. I saw a little bit of the match. First of all, Sampdoria looked like a different team. They didn't look like a team fighting to stay in Serie A. They were pressing like crazy. Lazio looked lost. We should include that Ciro Immobile got the red card, so he was suspended this game. But that's still not an excuse for what Sampdoria did to them. Ranieri put out a nice masterclass and really schooled Inzaghi's men for sure.
What's going on with Lazio, Anto?
I'll tell you what, it's again, as we were saying before, a lot of those players coming back from international game and traveling and all the stuff. And you can have a big game. Look, Atalanta had a big game again, filled up with all of those international players.
That's true.
Inter, he had a bad game. AC Milan, thank God we don't have anybody that
travels. Everyone stays. No one gets called up.
A bunch of losers over there. We just put them over there. We picked them up from the sideline. Okay, you want to play? Come on.
No jet lag, right?
No jet lag. Nothing. We
Genius.
We just give them a little bit of croissant and capo, they're ready to go. So it's just a bad week that I think is going to be shaken off. I think it's going to be meeting between the management and the players and the coaching staff. And I expect next week not to be as bad as this week for the big team.
Peter?
Okay?
I agree to a certain extent. It's one game. Let's see how they rebound from it. Lazio, they pretty much kept the same team from last year. We know Lazio's maybe last year that team was overachieving. We can say that. But I do think that the players that they have should not merit a 3-0 loss to Samp, even with Immobile out. Cool. Also, they didn't really make that many acquisitions this year.
They got
and the guys that they got, I mean, I know a lot of the fans were very unhappy with what happened. So you didn't really do much to build this team and add to this team after getting into Champions League. I'm a little afraid what's going to happen in the group stage for them. But even for the Serie A, the fans want to see something that they can really get happy about and maybe back the team. So they didn't do that. But let's also say Sampdoria, Claudio Ranieri, we all know what he's able to do with Leicester and then what he's done in Serie A with the different teams. Sampdoria last year were shit. They were terrible. They were ready to go out, and he was able to keep them in Serie A. This year, he's got a couple of new toys. You got Candreva, Keita Balde, who came in later.
Almost
But
scored.
These are guys that
Treva went to Sampdoria.
Yeah, it's at Sampdoria.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these are some nice.
Ooh,
these are
wow.
some nice signings that can add to the level of play. They also have this guy Damsgaard. Young
scored.
player. He scored.
Yeah.
He's a very young player. He looks good. So I think Sampdoria can not necessarily compete for Europa League, but be on the upper half of
More in the
Fair enough.
mid-table.
Roma beat Benevento 5-2. Looked like it was going to go the opposite way for a little while, to be honest. Benevento's defense is extremely shaky, to say the least. I know Michael has a very strong opinion about this because he was mad because he was hoping to save his predictions. Actually, I'll let it up. You want to finish with this, and we'll run through the rest.
I mean, I was
real quick.
So basically, me and Mark are on the bottom half of the table. So we got to make some risky results to, get back in there because everyone's going to put, Roma win. But actually, me and Mark are surprised when we put the same result. We put Benevento could maybe nick a draw against Roma. It was looking like that. It was going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, last 20 minutes, Roma out of nowhere scored like 3 goals. Dzeko just went off. And there goes our prediction. Roma smashed them. Benevento, they attack nicely, but when they lose the ball and defensively, they look horrible. They're like tripping on each other. They don't know how to defend. And it's always like a 4-on-2 or something against Benevento. So they did not look good at all. Inzaghi, even though I think he has a couple wins already in like 4 games, which is pretty good, he's got to work on that defense because bigger teams like Roma and stuff could really punish them when they lose the ball on that counterattack. It looked bad for them.
Listen, you're Benevento just coming up from Serie B. You're expected to lose to Roma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you're
true.
expected to lose versus these bigger
Yeah.
games, but I think they can challenge. As far as the 3 teams that came out from Serie B, Benevento looks more likely to
Stay
maybe
up
stay
than the
up.
other 2.
They made smart buys. You got Iago Falque, who has many years in Serie A.
Lapadula.
You had Lapadula. You had Caprari.
Dabo's there.
Dabo, Gleek,
Gleek.
playing in Champions
Yeah,
League.
the team is a good team.
So you got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
nice pieces there.
They do. You're
So
right.
it all depends on how Benevento can. We know Inzaghi. He said he wants to play a certain style, and they're going to keep to that style. So they're going to let in goals, but I think they're going to be able to catch some people off guard.
The ball movement was excellent
Yeah, they
from
play.
Benevento.
Listen, they
Up
play
to
well
two,
up until
Peter. Yeah.
up until the penalty, which I
Right.
think
It's
is a little
questionable, right?
questionable because
It
I
could've
think
went
the
either way.
goalkeeper touches the ball first,
Right.
but it didn't go that way. I guess the referee made the call, and there wasn't anything to really challenge. And Roma took it. I thought Roma was going to win anyway, even without that penalty. But you never know. At 2-2, things can change.
And also Carlos Perez, I think the 5th goal he scored,
yeah.
he passed a whole.
Nice goal.
He looked like Messi on that play. He scored an incredible goal on that. But yeah, Roma 100% they deserve the win. But look out for Benevento, Peter. Like you were saying, I feel like they can pull something up their sleeve. They can definitely beat some mid-table teams for sure. The way they play.
And Roma, like I said, difference from Conte, Fonseca changed to a 4-man back. Kumbula didn't even start.
You see?
He had Cristante in the midfield.
And Smalling's out.
Yeah, so he was
Fonseca's
able
a
to
smart
make
guy,
a little bit
very
of
smart guy.
a little bit
He's-
of a change. And
Adapt to your surroundings.
I love Dzeko. Pedro seems to be a good signing.
Spectacular.
Mkhitaryan's always interesting, but he always
Mkhitaryan,
messes
he
up.
missed
messes up his
2-3
goals.
chances.
He's
but,
got
He
a.
does.
But then
he's
you got
clever.
guys
He's
off the
clever on
bench
the
too,
runs
so.
too. I
But
feel
he's
like.
on the right place at the right time all the time. At some point, he's going to start. Those balls is going
Once
to
he
start to
starts,
get in.
yeah. So
Let's go to the last couple games. I'll read them out, and you guys could pick whichever one. Udinese 3-2 they beat Parma. Cagliari 3-2 they beat Torino. Fiorentina 2-2 they tied Spezia, and then Sassuolo 4-3 they tied Bologna. You guys want to talk about Fiorentina?
I didn't.
I'm
watch
adding
it.
up. I'm
I
adding
didn't
up the
watch
last
any of the game. Mike,
matches.
show
by
me
the
some
way.
highlights, please.
He can't show you right now.
Fiorentina were up
thing.
2-0, and then they up tying to Spezia 2-2.
Yeah, they scored like in the first 8 minutes 2 goals, right?
First 4 minutes.
4
scored?
minutes.
Biraghi scored 1. The first one was Pezzella, I think.
Pezzella? Oh, yeah.
Biraghi,
A
Captain.
defender, huh?
2-0. But then throughout the game, then they
So surprised.
Then let me
through
guess.
the
They
game.
took Ribery out, and then the game when West died. Right or wrong?
I'm not sure what minute they took him out, but Fiorentina's really gotta close these games. They had a lot of problems last season with closing games when they're up, and against a team that came from Serie B, you gotta end these
Are you
matches. These are
kidding
points
me?
that you need because when you're fighting for Europa League and stuff, and you fall a few points behind, and you wonder, oh, those are the points that I dropped over here. They gotta do better in
Mike,
that
they
sense.
reinforced their midfield a lot.
They did, but defensively, how you up 2-0 and you concede 2 goals against a team that just came from
they
Serie
were
B?
up too early, and they took their foot off the pedal.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, But
So
you got
what's
to be able
not
to finish the
working?
game.
What's not working? It's probably the midfield is not really dropping back and
International
helping
duty,
the
maybe.
defense.
The jet lag. The
Could
jet
be.
lag.
I'm not a fan of Iachini. I've said it. He's been able to keep this team up to Serie A.
But
He
that's
did
about it.
good, but he's not a Serie A like a top coach. His history speaks for himself.
Yeah.
So
Cracking under pressure too. Talk about L'Italiano because we were talking about him a little bit.
yeah, Italiano is actually Sicilian. So I think he was born in Germany, but he's from Ribera, Provincia di Agrigento. So that's pretty good. We always root for our Southerners, right? So
Yeah, smart guy, obviously.
yeah,
It's
well,
Italian
listen,
too.
with-
Italiano is Italian,
Hey,
right?
Spezia. This
Very
is
Italian.
Spezia's first ever
Time.
year in Serie A.
Yeah.
And he was able to bring this team up, and I think he's got it. He's got his job. He's got a very hard job. Let's put it that way, because Spezia didn't make any real moves.
No, it's gonna be a
so
tough
we'll
for
see
them.
what happens.
Wow.
I'm adding up the things right now. Antonio, I hate you, man.
What happened?
Don't.
I'm
honestly,
winning
We
again.
should talk even about
Freaking hate
Torino. Gianpaolo,
Oh,
man, he looks like
man.
a
That guy's a
disaster right
bust.
now.
He's a bust.
I actually got
One win in
a
4 games.
pretty interesting staff for Torino. The Torino fans are definitely not gonna like this one. Let me go to it now. Give me 2
Mike,
seconds.
this Gianpaolo, I was never sold on him.
To be
never.
honest, I was trying to give him a chance. I thought he'd be doing good for Torino.
When they threw Gattuso at AC Milan for Gianpaolo, I said to myself,
So-
what the hell is wrong with those
So
people?
this is the stat. Let me say it very quick. Torino have lost their opening 3 Serie A games. The last time this happened was in 2002, the season that they ended up getting relegated to Serie B.
All right, guys. I've got the results and the leaderboard. We're concluding right now. Again, tomorrow we will have another podcast around the same time with Ludovico and my dad. We're about to hit 300 likes. So, guys, everybody, hit that like button if you're enjoying the content.
Wait,
Subscribe
before,
if
Anto,
you are
say
new.
it.
Guys, hit the like and subscribe, right?
Yes.
Very good.
There you
Or
go.
else?
Otherwise,
Or
you
else
kill
to
him.
get your ass kicked.
Oh, I thought you said
Perfect.
kill him. Usually,
Fuck, no, we're not going to kill
Oh,
anybody.
you're not gonna kill the guy.
He's
Not
Maybe.
because Milan
Maybe.
won. He's not
Yeah.
gonna kill anyone.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, maybe.
We're not
Maybe
gonna tell
we'll-
you that we're gonna
Maybe
kill you.
we'll kill you.
So
surprise.
for everyone that's wondering, Michael and I, we film a prediction video every Tuesday. It comes out where we talk about the upcoming matches. We say who's playing, who's not going to play, what we think the score is going to be, and then we ask the podcast crew, Antonio, Peter, and Gaetano, for their scores of every single match. If you get the winner correct, you get 1 point. If you get the score correct, you get 1 additional bonus point. We went into this with Antonio with 5 points, Gaetano with 5 points, and Peter with 5 points.
man.
Marco and Mike, me and Mike, both had 4 points. The person that racked up the least amount of points this weekend was Michael and I. We are both at 5 points now. We've only got 1 correct answer.
Embarrassing.
The 2 who only got 2 points this weekend were Peter. So Peter is on 7 points. He goes from 5 to 7. And the second person is Gaetano with another 2 points, so 7 points. Antonio is first with a total of 9 points. You got 4 points this weekend.
Well, you got
I'm so
what?
proud of you,
3
Anto.
wins and 1.
He got
attacks.
yes. You got 3 wins and 1 extra point for the score correct.
I've never been so proud.
You
of
got the
you.
derby.
I'm
You
so
got the
proud of
derby extra point. That was
You
a
know
one.
what I'm gonna start doing?
So this
I'm
is
gonna make sure
scoreboard.
you send your scores first, and I'll take a peek on them. You know,
No,
that's
tell
what
your
I'll
father
do.
not to copy my scores, okay? Because he thinks I'm copying
Well, he
him.
didn't copy good.
Don't copy me. Don't copy me.
So I'm very disappointed.
Wait, but Marco, there's
it's
still
a long season.
there's a still game tomorrow. Genoa versus Verona.
Yes.
If I can get a 2-0 for Verona, plus 2 points. Where does that put me on the table, Marco?
7. You'd be in second place.
Ah, crap.
But what is your prediction?
2-0 for Verona tomorrow.
2-0. My dad has the same one, so
Oh my
he would
God, are you
have
kidding
Michael
me?
and my dad have 2-0 for Verona. Peter has a 1-1. Antonio has a 1-0 for Verona, and I have a 1-1. So we need that 1-1. and I get
Forza
an extra 2
Verona,
points.
let's go, baby.
So it will be perfect. So yes, guys, again, as always, thank you so much for watching. Congratulations to the Milan fans on winning the derby. We've got Antonio
Campioni del mondo.
celebrating right there. Peter, it's still the season's still early. Wasn't a great week for you
Don't
and I.
worry, Pete. You're going to get to win the Campionato, the Coppa. You're going to win everything. Everything.
If you want to see more bets, Peter, let's show them our face tattoos right now.
Looking
Look
good,
right into
looking
the.
good.
Guys, look right into the camera. Marco, show your bicep. Maybe stand up a little
There's a
bit.
Forza Milan over here. Can they see it over here? And we've got over here AC Milan and the
Beautiful.
if you want to see more of these bets every weekend too, hit that like button right now so we know.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Mike, do you remember our bet last year?
Yo, we told
I
you guys
actually-
find this
I
video
actually
and you
do
guys
remember
still
that. I
have
do
not.
remember the bet.
gotten
Pete,
the
you want
bet.
to refresh these guys' minds on what the bet was?
Refresh us with the video
First
because you
of
guys
all-
have never found it, and you've
First-
had how many months?
But Mike,
I told them find the clip. They still have not
They
found
cannot
it.
find it.
Yeah.
You gotta find
Number
it.
two.
You gotta find the clip.
Wait,
Number
so you're
two.
saying
Find
it
the
didn't
clip.
happen?
No,
Mike,
we never said Peter Luger steak.
We said a meal.
Yeah, we said a meal.
Okay, so let's get a
I
meal.
still haven't gotten a
Yeah,
meal.
let's go to McDonald's.
It's coronavirus
Is that a
outside.
meal?
It's in the oven.
Anto, is McDonald's a meal?
Yeah.
Of course.
Come on. According to who?
I got you large fries.
But but the last time you guys said that we agreed to Peter Luger steak, which is not
No,
accurate.
I said we
I don't
prefer.
care.
We
No,
said
no,
we
no.
prefer.
You
Peter
still haven't
Luger's.
gotten
But show
that
some
end of the
decency.
deal.
Let's
we're
not
gonna
go to
go to Peter
McDonald's.
Curto steak.
So guys, if you want to see more of these bets, like I said, I think they're funny. Now we've got a whole thing of face paint too.
It's true. We can
So
do some crazy
we
stuff.
might be able to find some other ways to use this face
Incorporate
paint. If you
this.
have any ideas, I gotta paint that face, Antonio, of you over
that
there.
beautiful scalp of yours, Anto, it's gotta be
It's got something's
blue
gotta
and-
go on
blue
that.
and black.
What are you gonna
Something-
put black and Juventus flags on?
Uh-oh.
What should we put?
We're gonna wait for the next derby to have Peter painting me because they're gonna win.
You know what?
they're gonna win.
You know what I want to do? I want to do.
It's revenge time, right, Pete?
Oh, yeah.
I want to do a bet of something with loser. Like you got to put loser on your forehead for like
Alright.
an episode. I don't know what the bet will be.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what the bet will
Mike,
be.
you look like a natural with a loser right now.
I'm putting my hair down if I lose that bet.
If you enjoy the espresso machine, the cafe calcio over
Pete,
there,
that was
Calcio
delicious
Cafe.
coffee, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, can I
You
buy a
outdone
couple,
yourself.
Can I buy a couple pounds of coffee or it's still not for sale yet? What's the deal with it? It's a good coffee.
We might have something coming
Yeah.
soon.
A little sneak peek, Anto.
We might have something. It was good.
See.
Oh, excellent.
It was good. Okay,
Excellent.
good. Maybe it was because Peter made it. That's why I
think
think it's
that's what
better.
it
though.
was.
Hey, I have a suggestion. Why
Yes,
don't we
please.
make 5 different brands? You could call it Antonio's brand, which is extra strong. You can put Mike.
Decaf,
light.
you're
What's his? What's
Feta
this?
cheese.
Mike
What's
is
this?
gonna be yeah.
Extra week.
No, extra cheese.
Extra cheese.
feta. Then Peter, we're gonna make it extra dark, right? Extra dark because the black and
Black and blue?
extra
mine?
dark.
What's
And
mine?
you can
Mine.
make
I want a
light,
tang to it.
light,
A little punch to it. You know.
light because you got milk on the shirt. You got black and cappuccino.
Okay, a
Black
latte.
and,
A
black
latte.
and white is cappuccino. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everybody who donated. We really appreciate that. We appreciate all the support. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
We'll see you guys
Ciao,
in
ragazzi.
tomorrow's podcast. Ciao,
right.
guys.
Ciao.
Forza Spezia, baby.